Hug a police officer. It's the law. After completing my classes at the International Conference of Police Chaplains, I was afforded the opportunity of riding along with an on-duty Orange County Sheriff's deputy. The officer assigned to me patrolled in the vicinity of Orange Blossom Trail. It's an area in Orlando known for its strip clubs, prostitution, drugs, and gang activity. Officer Rodriguez was Puerto Rican. He was bright, friendly, dedicated, and all business when he was on the job. He briefed me on what to expect. When we got into his patrol car, he said, "I don't know how you feel about guns, but if something happens out there tonight, the bad guys are not going to know that you're not a cop, and they may come after you." That was encouraging, right? He showed me a button that unlocked his shotgun hanging on the wire screen behind my head. "All you have to do is pump it once and pull the trigger," he said. He also pointed to an orange button. "If I go down," he instructed, "you push that button and lay low. Help will be on the way." The first call of the evening was a domestic violence incident. We were backup for another officer. We listened to both sides of the stories and stayed on the scene until another car arrived. Then we rode through several neighborhoods monitoring gang graffiti. Officer Rodriguez interpreted the symbols and talked about the gangs in Orlando. A call came over the radio. An officer was in pursuit of a car thief. With lights on and siren blaring, we headed towards the location of the thief. Officer Rodriguez seemed relaxed and confident, speeding through the traffic, but it was a little unnerving for me. The chase ended a few miles away. The culprit abandoned the car and disappeared into a densely populated neighborhood. Several cars arrived on scene and set up a perimeter around the housing development. A canine unit was dispatched, but before the suspect was apprehended, we received another call. With siren blaring and lights flashing, we arrived at an apartment complex where a man was threatening his family with a gun. He barricaded himself inside the apartment. There must have been 100 officers on scene. The SWAT team was there planning strategy, and a command site was set up. Every road leading into the complex was blocked. After 2 hours of negotiation, the distraught person surrendered and was taken into custody without accident. Back at the hotel, I attempted to process my emotions. It was as though I'd been in a theme park all evening. Some rides were scary, causing my heart to leap inside my chest. Others simply spun me around, giving me a sick feeling inside. But the most impressive part of all was the power connected to one push of an orange button. All the authority of the sheriff and his department lay at my fingertip. More power than I would ever need in any given situation. In the same way, listen carefully, in the same way, every follower of Christ, every person who is willing to call on the Lord is connected to his power. You are not alone. Push the button. Call on God in prayer, and he will be there for you. Thank you for joining me today for another Just a Thought. And remember, there's a power associated with the presence of God if we will just simply call on him and allow him to come to our aid. All you have to do is push the button. And remember, hug a police officer. It's the law.